So guys, I didn't know about anemones. They are these cute little flowers. They are thriving underneath my mom's shade tree here. My mom let me plant quite a few greens this spring in her lawn, and I am thankful for that. We are harvesting loads of lettuce and spinach, and I even have some tomatoes that I put them in early April, and they're on the south side of this house. I put them in early April and they survived. One died completely back to the stem and it's coming back up. So this is the one I had the egg carton over, and this one is a green zebra. And then this little guy, I thought he was gonna die. Actually, no, I think that one did die back and it's coming back up. But this one, man, I thought this one was absolutely dead. And if that's not a tomato, I don't know. I think it's tomato. So we'll have to see. But this guy looks great. She's got this big privacy fence and I'm just gonna tie it to it. So right now we have 2 refrigerators, one downstairs and one upstairs at my mom's house. I'm living with my mother. Yes, I'm living with my mother right now while we build. And I was thinking about doing a video or doing an experiment, because I love those, on what you can grow from just the grocery store. Well, like if things got really bad and all of a sudden you're like, I don't have any seed, so what do I do? Just using some of the produce that's left over. And I thought I was done planting my potatoes, but it looks like I have more potatoes to plant. These are fingerling potatoes that were in the refrigerator, and they are starting to turn. Well, they're not starting to turn, they're starting to sprout. They're starting to grow. All right, and then we have also some celery that's mostly used. There's nothing wrong with it, but I was like, well, you know what? I know that it'll grow. And the second year, because it's a biannual, it will grow seed. So I could harvest seed if I wanted to. It would grow a plant as well. Also, I have another head of lettuce. Celery. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and tonight I don't know. Looks kind of iffy in this bag. I think I'll go ahead and chop it and just try to sprout it and see if it'll grow roots. I already did this with 2 leeks and some garlic that was left over for a while. It started sprouting and Darian was like, we can plant this in the garden. I love it when my kids are just like, we can plant it in the garden. Or they see a tree and it is beautiful and they say, Mom, take a cutting of the tree and try to root it. Also, not so great looking. I hate mold, you all know that. These beets, yuck. So beets are biannuals as well. I'm gonna cut off this yucky part. I'm gonna bury these beets and see if they will give me seed. They produce a lot of seed. I'm gonna see if they'll produce for me seed this year. So then I don't have to wait 2 years to get the seed, because they're very firm. This one's not firm, but these 2 are firm. They're very nice. And I'm gonna clean out the refrigerator the rest of the way, but yeah. So let's do it. Right by our house. I bet they're gonna have little baby ducklings soon. You think they're hatching some eggs? Hey kitty. Hey kitty. Where are your kittens? It has been raining and raining, and that's really good because over yonder we're trying to grow grass, and also over there we're trying to grow prairie. My little pea sprouts. So It tastes just like, it tastes like a pea. The greens taste like a pea, the pea. I'm really excited about that. And it's so cute because I saw a video from Bree where she answered my question basically from a different video that I had recently.
You can eat these. They're totally edible. These are not sweet peas like the flower. Those are not edible. These are sugar snap peas or snow peas, depending on the variety that you planted. I kind of interchange the words. These greens are perfectly edible. And they are so sweet and tender. My children love these. I really honestly need to plant a row just for them to eat the greens.
And they're delicious. You could pop them in a salad and they would taste great in it. And it might even, I wonder if it delays some of the seed potting, but it might not diminish the amount of peas that you get from the plant. I don't know. So I have been babysitting those sprouts, waiting for those ones that I was just like, are they gonna sprout or are they not gonna sprout? The poppies. And I had thrown some poppy seed in some pure horse manure and thought, yeah, maybe it'll sprout. I think that this, guys, I think that this is poppy seed. I think it's poppy seed. So I'm very excited that that came out of pure horse manure. Also, I was sprouting some over there of cilantro, and cilantro was sprouting right out of horse manure. Yay! All right, so it's hard for me to actually even do non-conventional normal. I am an experimenter. I love to experiment. And on the beds of potatoes, when we planted the potatoes, I know of the Ruth Stout style of planting, and a big part of her interview is talking about how not to be told what to do and things. And she's really, I mean, the idea behind it is like to have people experiment with things. And I am a big experimenter. And I thought to myself about the Ruth Stout style, and I'm like, well, she's trying to avoid not digging. And I actually believe digging is pretty good exercise for us and our backs and everything. So I thought to myself, hey, I've seen videos of people using bags to grow pounds and pounds of potatoes and bringing them out at different places in this bag. So I thought, well, what if I grow potatoes at a deeper depth and plant potatoes on right on top, and then just put straw hay. Now she uses hay, and that disintegrates faster than straw. But I had access to some straw, some bedding from some goats from my neighbors. So I planted potatoes deeper, and I used ones that had already had a long strand, and I put their little strandy thing, kind of tucked it outside of the mound to the north. And then I went ahead and I put a potato on top, covered it with straw. So I'm gonna see what that does. Also, I was looking at one of our mounds of dirt, and I was thinking about my sweet potatoes, and I was thinking about that system of planting vertically. And I thought, man, these sweet potatoes, I know that they would do fantastic in that dirt pile. So I made a little thing like a volcano that if it is a wet year, I could even cover that up and keep it from getting too wet. Or I could just, if it's dry, I could just fill a little pool of water on top and let that pool of water gravity feed water down into my garden.
We're through that job. Get some hay on top of those potatoes. Otherwise, they would just lie there and die. And we don't want them to die, so we'll do this. This keeps the... You see, most people would cut those potatoes up with just one sprout in each piece of potato, but you don't have to, and I don't do anything I don't want to do unless I have to, and I don't have to. I love my husband very, very much. I really mean it when I say that I'm sure that he is the only man in the world who could have stood staying married to me, because I always was out of order. I mean, the things I did, I would go down there to garden, and the minute I got down there, I would take off all my clothes and garden naked. I've always loved the air on my body. And I never said a word to Fred about it one way or the other. It never occurred to me to mention it to him. And I came back every evening around 5 o'clock and put my clothes on before I came back. And one day I came back at 6. And Fred was out in the barn doing his stuff. He made all these wooden things and so on. And shortly after I got in, he came in and he said, "Oh, you worked longer today, didn't you?" I said, "But how did you know?" I was just curious how he happened to know. And he said, "It was easy. As a rule, as the cars go along the road, after 5 o'clock, they just go on. But up until 5 o'clock, they kind of go very slowly, and then you look down where you're gardening." So I knew that you didn't come up until 6, because up until 6, they still stopped.